Hey there folks, I'm Dan Brown from Sort of Interesting, and here's another one of those videos that shows that boat life isn't all sitting on the deck eating pizza in the sun. I'm currently waiting to set out on an 8 to 9 mile trip back down the towpath and hopefully end up somewhere at my old house in Oswestry. And, well, waiting for the better weather to appear, we are now getting some good old hailstones coming down. Like I say, boat life is not all sitting out in the sun and tooting along a perfectly peaceful canal. Although it has got to be said that if I was just out here on a bike ride in general, I would have no shelter from this at all. You may see my breath. I've only just arrived at the boat, so it's still a bit nippy in here. But yeah, well, at least I can get in the dry. Unfortunately, that's not looking like it's the sort of day that I really want to be pushing my bike down a muddy towpath on. So I suppose I'll just wander around and talk about boat life for a bit. Well, like I say, I mean, today's the perfect example of what I would say the last 4 months or so have been like. Just proper miserable rainy days, day after day after day. Like you say, over winter I had a nice mooring spot that was nice and close to a road and bus route and all the rest of it. Whereas where I am here, my quickest route home still has about maybe 2 or 3 miles of biking down the towpath, and it's not too bad a surface, but when the weather's like this it really does start to churn up and get a little bit muddy. So I'm already covered in mud from the trip out here. Yeah. Once I've done me 2 to 3 miles back onto the towpath, back onto the road rather, I'll probably still be about 6.5 miles of roads away from Oswestry and final salvation. But I'm out here now, forgot my waterproof trousers, so I'm going to have to live with it. I would say though, I mean, obviously if I was stopping here longer and didn't want to get me bike back home to add a few new parts that I've got there waiting to be added to it, then obviously I'd have the fire going on board now and be sat around with the tripod set up, and I'd be waxing lyrical about boat life and ooh, it's all warm and cosy and look at the weather outside and all that sort of stuff. Changing the subject, this is one of my favourite spots to moor up on. It's pretty remote. It's not like you're in the middle of nowhere, but it's got a nice rural feeling. There is a road over the way there which is quite noisy, but it's hardly the end of the world, and at night it obviously all calms down to nothing. But like I say, it's just a lovely spot out here. You've got the interesting addition of the railway line running just adjacent there, which, as you can see, there's a dip in the middle, but the line itself is pretty much level in height with the canal. So when I'm just wandering around in the boat at night, it's fantastic to look across there and see like the passenger trains all lit up in the dark, and then you have these big old freight trains that'll have like 20-30 carriages on them. And I've got to say, I'm surprised that it's not as loud or as disruptive as you would think. Well, me and my friend didn't have any trouble sleeping through about 10 hours the other night, so that sums it up really. Anyway, what can you say about this? So I will hop on my bike in a minute, because this doesn't look like it's going to get much better. Stick my friend's wheel on my backpack, bike down, drop that off, and oh, right on cue, drop the wheel off at my friend's house, head back home, and well, hopefully I'll see you there.